What's up guys, Luke here with Luke's Points and Miles. Today I wanted to do a fun video, and I've done some similar videos like this in the past, and they've actually done fairly well. So I take that as a maybe there is some type of interest in this topic. If you've been following the channel, you know that I'm moving towards the Capital One ecosystem a lot more. And one of the things I've seen with some real criticism of that system is that most people think that their transfer partners are somehow inferior to other issuers. Now, this isn't an argument that any issuer's partners are better or worse, okay? I think that they all have some serious hitters, and today I want to rate the Capital One transfer partners from worst to first. Okay, this doesn't mean that any of them are the worst, but I wanted to rank them, and I'll give you a little reason why or how I've used them or how I plan to use them in the future. One thing of note though, I'm only going to rate the 16 partners that have a 1-to-1 ratio. EVA and Accor Live Limitless, because I don't have any knowledge or experience on those two, I'm not going to rate them. In the comments, tell me which Capital One partners you like the best and maybe how you use them. Everyone's different, and there are definitely no wrong ways to use these miles. Guys, if you like videos about credit cards, points, miles, cash back, and travel, then consider subscribing. And if you get any value at all from this video, slap the like button for me. Let's get right into this with our number 16 ranked Capital One transfer partner. Number 16, which I guess would make it the worst, is going to be Choice Hotels. Now, if you are a fan of the channel, you know that I think the Choice Hotel program is a decent option for some situations, but in this case, I don't think this is a great option for your Capital One miles. Remember, Citi transfers to Choice 2-to-1, and Choice also has a co-branded credit card that earns fairly well. So in my opinion, this one is a transfer I would not recommend. It may even be a better idea to book that Choice Hotel within the Capital One travel portal or use cash and then erase the travel purchase later with Capital One miles. One more thing, if you're looking to earn tons of Capital One miles, I do have some referral links in the description for the Capital One Venture X and the Capital One Saver One. Using my links, of course, directly benefits my channel and allows me to give you mostly sponsor-free content because that's what you guys prefer. Number 15 for me is Aeromexico. Aeromexico is a member of the Sky Team, but for me it seems like it just takes way too many points for some of these redemptions. I need to point out that with Amex, you can transfer MR points to Aeromexico at a rate of 1 to 1.6. So that makes a lot more sense than a transfer from Capital One. There are some interesting options here though, such as Washington Dulles to Athens, Greece, via Amsterdam on KLM business class for 110,000 points. See, that's only 68,750 MR points, but with Capital One, you're on the hook for the whole 110K. Just not a ton of value here. Coming in at number 14 is a program that is changing. Finnair is a member of the One World Alliance, and they're now going to be using Avios. I'm going to reserve speaking too much on them for the time being because it seems like there are some good redemptions, but I'm not exactly familiar with them. Avios is becoming a fairly common currency and should be able to move between programs, and if that's the case, I'm not sure if you'll ever need to transfer to Finnair because British Airways Avios is much more likely to have a bonus. Number 13 is Etihad. This is a difficult partner in my opinion because it's one of the options to use for American Airlines business class in the event you aren't able to accumulate American Airlines miles. That's really the only option I could think of because most of their redemptions are a fair bit higher than other partners. I just don't see a ton of options here besides American Airlines, even domestic economy. These are redemptions that you need to call to execute. Maybe Etihad should be even lower on this list. This bottom quarter are really the only 4 partners I would generally not recommend. The next dozen partners on this list I think are exponentially better, and they all have a lot of great use cases. Number 12 is TAP Air Portugal. TAP is a Star Alliance member and isn't really known for having an over-the-top great product, but they seem to have a decent program. Besides flying to Portugal, there are some really cool redemptions to South America. Examples are Houston to Buenos Aires for 50,000 points and $29. And guys, that's in United Polaris. Same price with Newark, New Jersey to Lima, Peru. Lots of great redemptions, but of the 12 best partners, it's still sitting at the bottom. Number 11 is one that a lot of folks never talk about, and that's Qantas, an Australian member of the One World Alliance. You can book great domestic economy on American Airlines with Qantas, and their website is fairly easy to use. Besides flying to Australia, my favorite redemption might be the East Coast US to Tel Aviv on El Al business class. Not sure if this is the best time to execute that one, but it's still a very cool idea. There are also options from the US to Western Europe on American Airlines Business for just over 40,000 points. Just don't sleep on Qantas. Entering the top 10 is Emirates. Emirates has a couple sweet spot Fifth Freedom flights that might be interesting, such as JFK to Milan for 90,000 points round trip in business class. There's also a Washington Dulles to Athens, Greece for a similar price. And there's always last minute flights to Dubai in business and first. And who doesn't want to go to Dubai? Wyndham is a program that I don't personally use, but at number 9, we have some great value, especially when you're talking about Vacasa vacation rentals, where folks seem to be getting the best value for their points, especially in Hawaii. I also want to mention that Wyndham has a huge footprint and plenty of all-inclusive resorts. I think there's plenty of value here if you stay at these properties. Now we're getting into some serious hitters, and at number 8 we have Cathay Pacific Asia Miles. I just did a video on using Cathay Pacific to fly from the US to London to avoid some of those taxes and fees. Cathay may also be the best option to fly to Hong Kong. And you might want to do a deep dive to see their redemptions to Europe with a stopover in Hong Kong. That's like flying all over the world on a one-way flight. At number 7, I have Turkish Miles and Smiles. And Turkish could be way higher if it was a little easier to book. But some of those sweet spots require you calling or emailing Turkish. Killer redemptions on United to Hawaii, direct flights on Turkish Air to Istanbul. There are so many great redemptions with Turkish, and neither Chase nor Amex have them as a partner. Number 6, Singapore Airlines, and I'll admit this, I have a soft spot for this partner. The soft product on this airline was amazing, and I can't wait to fly it again. JFK to Frankfurt is their Fifth Freedom flight, and Frankfurt isn't a bad jump-off point to go anywhere in Central Europe. I'm also considering a trip to Singapore as well. Very easy to use website, and I have to mention again, great service. Top 5 time. This is where most of us will be using our points, and this is why I think Capital One is competitive with other programs, because most of us aren't using 15 different partners regularly. On this list, number 5 goes to Virgin. The redemptions with Virgin go on forever. Common use is using Virgin points for Delta flights and booking Air France or KLM flights. Don't forget ANA Business and First to Japan. I'm a big fan of Virgin, and some of that is because of the common 30% bonuses from different programs. British Airways comes in at number 4 for me because I use them mostly for American Airlines flights. Common bonuses to BA for me means American Airlines flights to the Caribbean, and Avios can be moved around to fly to Dublin or Spain, 2 very cool places. Avianca wins bronze based on so many redemption options. So many Star Alliance flights to Europe for 63,000 life miles and very small fees. Too many to mention, but let's bring up Chicago to Switzerland or Austria, East Coast to Belgium or Berlin. Just tons of options here. The top 2 are the 2 best in the business, and my runner-up is KLM Air France Flying Blue. I have made a lot of different videos on redemptions with these points, and I actually have one coming up this year, Toronto to Amsterdam on KLM business class for a great rate. I actually have a video on that one, as well as the Washington Dulles to Prague via Paris last year, and that was a great deal too. Although I was not actually impressed with Air France's old business class product, but good food. My top partner for Capital One is Air Canada's Aeroplan. Everything from North America to Europe on Star Alliance partners, and business class flights to South America, and even United domestic flights. Aeroplan is a serious hitter in this space, and almost anyone can find big league aspirational redemptions with them. So guys, that's the rankings of the Capital One transfer partners. Tell me what you think, or even better, what's your top 3? There are no wrong answers. I really just wanted to convey how great Capital One transfer partners can be, and we don't really have to compare them to other issuers. Guys, remember, if you want more information on Capital One cards to earn these miles, check out my links in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, slap the like button. And if you watched all the way to the end, I thank you. I appreciate every single one of you.